What up, world? It's your boy Big Willie, aka the Pac Mac, and I am sitting here in my budget Luffy costume for Halloween. Happy Halloween! I hope y'all are having a great day. As always, I am blessed and happy to see you. Now we got Layla in the background sitting there, just being Layla. But so I'm having internet issues at the house, so we are going to have to do Deck Tech Fridays a little differently this week. We're going to post the list up sometime this weekend, so the list will be posted up, but without the internet, all of my interneting things have been kind of dysfunction, so we're going to have to figure that out. But I figured I'd show off the deck physically. Actually, this one is kind of a double whammy in a sense. Bear with me. So, my buddy Gio, who you may remember from the video, the MTG night at Denny's, he decided to build a deck off of most of his box from Dustwarm. And if you saw we did open the box there. So if you saw that, check it out. It's a really cool video. We did open some heat in there. But he opened up Valgavoth, the one from the Commander deck, which slaps. It slaps. He's been playing my Precon of it for the past while, and he decided to bring up his deck and that he built himself. And I was just like, hell yeah, let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, that's awesome. I was actually not in the game because I was in we had it split up to 2 different 3-man pods to make it easier and more relevant for everybody to be able to play. First land he plays is a Plains. So I was just like, ooh, that ain't it, Chief. And he didn't know. He didn't realize that, your commander determines your color identities. So he was like, all right, he ended up switching decks, borrowing another deck from somebody else because I actually was playing the Valgavoth deck, the Precon, in my pod. And afterwards, we played a bunch of games, and then he ended up leaving, and he left his deck behind. Now, his deck box, because he's still new to the game. His deck box is old chest clock, and I ain't tripping. You gotta do what you gotta do. This is not me knocking the hustle or anything at all, because I've been there. I used to do rubber bands. Rubber band man. Why does the Taliban? Yeah. So, I get it. He hasn't really invested into this as much as, I have. So, he left it, and I was one of the last people to leave, and I was like, oh, snap. My man left his deck. What are we going to do? I texted him. I was like, I got it, because, me and him worked together. We worked together, and where I was like, man, I was like, bro, I got your deck. And then as I was sitting there looking through it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bless my guy, and we're going to build him a better Valgavoth deck with some of the stuff I have laying around, some of the extra stuff. I didn't want to take anything out of my Precon, but I did put some stuff that I had extras of that were in the Precon, ironically, that I was like, oh, I've got quite a few copies of this one specific rare that we'll go through, but we're gonna have to manually show it out. So, I just have my tripod break on me too. So, whoop-de woo. So we're gonna have to figure that out too. It's just, hey, it's Halloween. It's November 1st for y'all, but it's Halloween when I'm filming this, so it's like. But we gonna budget Luffy and try to be king of the pirates and hustle our way to victory. So we gonna show off this Valgavoth deck. A little bit of a scene change because my dog is acting like a butt, as you can hear in the background. It's all good though. But a friend of mine on TikTok, Hexmaniac Nikki, asked about difference between precons and homebrews, and this deck is, because the commander is a Precon commander. But, he couldn't get the Precon. So we had to go homebrew. And Um, like I said, I did this from like stuff I had. Almost everything that I added to the deck is either a double or extra that I had that I wanted to give to him. So I'll hopefully bless him and get him going. And we got to do it a little bit differently this time because my internet is still acting like booty. But we're gonna make this happen, and we're gonna edit this and have it out to y'all. So either way it goes, hey, I hope y'all enjoy. Holla at your boy. So we're gonna start off with our commander, Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls. He costs 2 black red for a total mana cost of 4. Legendary creature, Elder Demon, flying ward paid to life. Whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each of their turns, put a +1/+1 counter on Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls, and draw a card. He's a 4/4. Oh my goodness, this guy is nuts. I want to start off by saying that this deck, anything that isn't from Bloomburrow or Bloomburrow Commander, was added to the deck by me. So, I mean, he had some stuff, and we even took some black-red stuff out of it in addition to the white stuff. But hey, like, we got to start somewhere, and I'm just going to try to help him make this a little bit better. One of the real good additions I like is Razorkin Needlehead. His first strike during your turn, and whenever an opponent draws a card, Razorkin Needlehead deals 1 damage to him. And that's just so perfect with Valgavoth. We got a Blood Artist in here. Harsh Mentor, punishing people for doing stuff. Our 3 drops. I decided to give him a foil, Phyrexian Stabbed foil Furnace Punisher, because that guy could do some work too for Valgavoth, and like because all of it, we're all about dealing damage to them on their turn. We got a Burnish Heart in here. You can't go wrong with the Burnish Heart. Gleeful Arsonist, that was a good thing he got in his pools, and that was also in the commander deck as well. We got an Emberwild Captain, Gimli Counter of Kills, which also does damage to them on their turn. Nightshade Harvester, damage to them on their turn. Solemn Simulacrum, of course, Sadbot, it's always good. Fate Unraveler, I have like 5 of these just sitting in a box, and I was just like, yo, this is in the deck. Carter Doomscourge is also in the deck. Ashenmore Liege is just goodness. Good guy. And if they try to get rid of him, hey, they lose 4 life. So, hey, we're doing the thing. Merkwood Bats, also just good card. We're going to make some tokens somehow, some way through this. There's the guys that he had in here, which ain't bad. I really like this little hasty haste 4/4 that says whenever you attack, create a 1/1 gremlin creature token. I like how it says whenever you attack. So it's not whenever you attack with it. It's whenever you attack, period. That is a limited bomb, if I had to say one myself. Of course, we had to add a Gary in here. Sizon Perverter of Truth. That guy is insane. I like him. He does what we need him to do. I mean, yeah, he's giving them cards, but it's okay. Give them cards. They're losing 2 life. We're getting extra cards on extra cards on extra cards. We're trying to make sure that you take damage during your turn. No matter how we do it, we're going to find a way. Of course, you got that Doomsday Excruciator, which is just like the end game, period. Metamorphosis Fanatic. I know that's in the Esper deck. It's good graveyard recursion, we got some decent stuff. We got the Overlord of the Boil Burgess. That guy is gonna put some work in by killing anything that needs to kill. Then we got some big boys. We got Elderbrain and Caverick the Merciless. Of course, we got the Precon All-Star. It's Holly Primal Storm. And we got Chandra's Incinerator. And I like that card a lot because whenever we deal non-combat damage to an opponent, he's going to deal damage to creatures they control, which ends up making like all of our damage to the opponents end up being, snipe spells. He's the secret sauce of the deck. We also got some planeswalkers here. We got Tybalt, who basically his whole purpose is to stop life gain. We've got several cards in this deck that's going to stop life gain. We also got next to us the hate twisted, which you see his boy right next to him, Sizon Perverter of Truth. They kind of work together and deal more damage for whenever opponent draws cards. And he's also an extra source of removal. Yeah, we'll give him cards, but it's okay. Take extra damage. That's what we want you to do, is take damage. And then we got a good battle wrath. Like, this is one of my favorite little wraths, like, that is like pretty budget friendly, because it also turns into a really, really decent what does it turn to? Marchesa, who gets rid of counters off of things. Like, pretty insane. Let's get to the next part. All right, so now we get to the next part of the video. We've got some sorceries here. We got a Pyroclasm, grab the prize. This Waltz of Rage, I really like that, because that could be a potential, like, decent little have Valgavoth kill everything. And then, just sit there and just do some stuff and do dumb things. We also, cards that I gave him, of course, a good little tutor, because, hey, we got to start somewhere. We got a Victimize in here. We also got a Dread Return in here. Some good, hey, let's get my guys back. My removal suite. We've got, for instance, we've got, I like this Untimely Malfunction. It is definitely a toolbox of a card that all three of the modes could be useful at any time you need it. Withering Torment, one of the best removal spells I've ever seen. That gets rid of so many different things. We decided to add some other stuff to it, like Bedevil, give him a Rakdos Charm that was already in the deck, the deck, so we had to throw him one there. We had Terminate, of course, Power Word Kill, which is another good little just destroy something spell. We got Chaos Warp, which is just get rid of something you need. This deck had some artifacts, but most of it was all the equipment. So we decided to give him, of course, we got to give him some Mana Rocks. We got to give him a Rakdos Signet. We got to give him a Felwar Stone, a Soul Ring, some Swift Food Boots, some of them, Nike Air Forces one time for the one times, the Arcane Signet, a Commander Sphere. And we gave him, of course, one of my favorite pet cards, Stone of Eric. Love that card, love that card, love that card. Sorry about the glare, but the card is just, it puts in work. It really does. A Nevinar's Disc, another Wrath. You can never have too many Wraths. Well, you can, but I mean, hey, we're all chaotic in this deck. Nowhere to Run. I really love that enchantment. Out of all the packs I have opened, I still have yet to get one. I need 4 of that card. I'm just saying. The card is great. That card is very good for commander purposes. It stops Vogels. Just saying. Demonic Covenant. I really like that card. It makes demons, and if you happen to mill 2 cards of the that share the same card types, you sacrifice it. Otherwise, you're going to get a black 5/5 demon with flying at the beginning of your end step, and whenever you attack with demons, you draw a card and lose life, which is not a problem. Not that big of a problem. Meat Hook Massacre 2 in its showcase foil glory. What I decided to add to it, we added Rising of the Day to let his creatures get haste. A Bandit's Talent, which can low-key become another way to like sit there and just do our little chip damage thing. Impact Trimmers, which is just Impact Trimmers. You can't go wrong. Phyrexian Arena, I know my boy Mono Black hates the crap out of that card, but hey, if you got extras, you got to hook your boy up with one. So that way he got a way to draw cards. That way he's got 2 things to help him draw cards. Because we are playing kind of Demon Tribal, but not really. We got a Bastion of Remembrance, which just wonderful, 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 wonderful. Love that card. Painful Quandary. Painful Decisions. Oh my goodness. I got a draft story I got to tell you about that. That'll probably be a short. That's a good short story. But that card does the thing that our commander wants him to do. Same thing with Blood Reckoning. Whenever a creature attacks us or planeswalker they control, they lose a life. Yo, hey, that's what we need for our commander to trigger. Another way, Witch Hunt. I saw this, and this is my only copy of this, so I had to give it to him. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, this does what we wanted to, we need the deck to do. We need people to stop gaining life. it's going to trigger at the upkeep, so that person's going to take 4 damage. You know, at the beginning of the end step, another opponent at random gains it. We gain it back, it's okay. It's all right. All we got to do is just make sure that nobody else can gain life. That's the deal. And then, of course, Goblin Bombardment. Goblin Bombardment, you can't go wrong. Sack dudes, ping people, sack them on their turns, ping people to make sure we hit the trigger. The goal is to hit our commander's trigger. Let's see what else we got. Last and certainly not least is our lands. We're running 10 swamps, 9 mountains. He had a Blazemire Verge, which is excellent. I decided to hook him up with nothing but non-basics from here on out. We gave him an Evolving Wilds, which is, it's a budget fetch land, but it's going to fetch him one of his mountains or swamps. We got a Shadowblood Ridge. We got a Reliquary Tower. We got a Rakdos Carnarium. We got a Canyon Slaw. We got Sokinzon, Crucible Defiance. We got a Command Tower, of course. Smoldering Marsh. Dragon Skull Summit. We got a Temple of Malice. A Geothermal Bog. A Field of Ruin. We also got a Path of Ancestry and Foreboding Ruins. Now, this deck, like I said, out the gate, we're going to find out how much it slaps. Because I actually think that it has the potential to just... the deck itself just works. Let's see what happens next. All in all, I think that deck is gonna slap. I think he's gonna enjoy it. I really do. He's already played the regular one, the Precon of the regular one, and I played it. And only thing I wish I had more incremental, hey, on your turn, take damage stuff, what's that one? Roiling Vortex, card was nothing and still should be nothing. But that card just dealing a damage at the beginning of the turn does everything Valgavoth wants it to do. What's another one? The Chandra that gives everybody an emblem for her plus. And they can't get rid of that, so it's every time I get Valgavoth out, I'm gonna go ahead and just value town. I just can't wait to see his reaction. Hopefully it's a good one, because I really want my man to be in this game, and I think he'll not only be relevant. I should have added a Blasphemous Act in there. We can sit there, we'll look for one and we'll get him, we'll hook him up, because the goal, seriously, above all else, it really is all about the gathering. And I want people I play with to not only be able to have fun, but be relevant and be, existed in the game and be able to, and hopefully, because I'm treating him as my next student, so to speak, and I just literally, I definitely try to help out my people. And I think that as a Magic player, especially if you got people to play with, you should be trying, iron sharpens iron, and you should be trying to help your people out and do right by your people, because they're the main ones you're going to play with. Yeah, sometimes I am I know last night I was a menace. I was a menace. I was a menace. It was great. But sometimes you got to pop out and show them, you know what I'm saying? But, it really is all about the gathering, and it's all about your people you got. It's all about the people you play with. And as long as y'all are having fun, having a good time, having a just moment of fellowship and just gaming, it's great. And I think more people need to realize that and, do more to foster that, period. But hey, what do you think? What would you change? What would you do differently? Because that Precon by itself is too much money. It's too much money unless you are lucky to find it in a big box, and we haven't got a restock of it yet. And it's and I really want my man to be able to play the deck, especially since he pulled one. He pulled Valgavoth, so he should be able to play it. He's always welcome to play mine. I have a long-standing, hey, you want to borrow any one of my decks? Play them. I want to see how you pilot them. I'm also the same way. You want me to pilot one of your decks? Hey, come through. Let me do that. If you think my decks are just too hard, hey, I'll play with one of yours. I'm down. I'm always down. I am that guy. I'm just saying. Either way it goes, remember, it is all about the gathering. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Holla at your boy. Peace. I need to really figure out my angle in this, I'm just, this, I'm probably going to leave this in, but, because I'm sitting there, it looks like I'm facing this way, and I should be facing, no. I got to get my camera stuff right. Either way it goes, holla at your boy. Peace.